a very quick overview about ZEQUENZ and what I like about them. My initial impressions. I haven't started my bullet journal, but I have started preparing it, and why I'm really looking forward using this one. A few things. So if you are writing a bullet journal, I just assume that most of you will like the dot grid. So that's usually these little dots. I hope contrast is there. I discovered these dot grid papers with starting a bullet journal a couple of years ago. Beforehand, I didn't know that they existed. I have to say that I kind of didn't use any analog stuff other than loose papers for quite a while. Anyway, so for me, such a notebook should be small, but you may have a different opinion on that. Dot grid, many of you I think would agree on this, and a certain paper quality. By this I mean that if you're using thicker pens or fountain pens, you don't want too much bleed through. You don't want to have a ghosting, which is then when the other page is kind of shining through, and then bleeding means that you really can kind of color is getting through the page. And 80 grams per square meter is about the quality range that you want to have. And so these two things are stuff that you really have to look at when buying a ZEQUENZ. When you want a dot grid notebook, there's only the color range, and the other range is called air. Those are the only two notebook lines that are then suitable for you. None of the other, for whatever reason, have a dot grid. They have lines, they have blank pages, they have squares, whatever, but not the dots. Don't ask me why, it just is that way. But if you then want also the paper quality to go with it, you need to go for the color range. It doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what size. It's the only range of ZEQUENZ notebooks that would fit your experience, because the air is coming with 70 grams. And lots of reviewers have said that it's not as great, and the examples you can see really there's stuff ghosting through. I've had a similar experience with other manufacturers in the past, which is why I don't use them anymore, because I've started kind of using fountain pens. So I really care now about the quality of the paper, the thickness. So if this is also something you are looking into, especially if you want to make drawings or highlighting stuff, the only ZEQUENZ range of books is actually called the color. And the air as well as the color notebooks, they come in these A6 minus, but some other books come in a slightly larger A6 as well as a B6. So you have to be also aware on this kind of thing. If you don't care about dot grid, you need to really check out what the size is, and just don't go for the first A6 because it might be the normal A6 version they have there, slightly wider, or it might be the A6 minus. So these are the few things that I would say. Check out the ZEQUENZ. Otherwise, I'm really looking forward, especially with the 360 pliable thing. The normal notebooks they're called professional, I think. Why, whatever. They're much thinner, and they have a different technique for the back, so they are not comparable, and they open in a different way. Alrighty, see you then.